I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
You're in big trouble though, pal. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
This guy's either gonna think here's another kid with a fake ID, or here's McLovin, the 25-year-old Hawaiian organ donor. Okay, so what's it gonna be?
I am McLovin.
Hello?
Why don't you want to talk to me?
Who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
Special.
Something inside me has always been there. But now it's awake. And I need help.
I've seen this raw strength only once before.
Hey, welcome back to the J&Z podcast. This is episode
16.
Oh, wow. I forgot for a second.
Oh my God, 16.
That's terrifying. We've done it for that long to where I'm starting to forget where I am.
It's gonna happen. We're just gonna be like, which number is it? It's back. We're doing Back to the Future, right?
Yeah. Episode
fuck.
4. Okay. Well, I'm super excited for today. We have another guest on the J&Z podcast. And this guest is very special, very close friend of mine. And as everybody knows, I like to tell... Sorry, that friend part was really hard to get through. I always like to tell a story before we introduce the guest. So this guest in particular, I don't want to speak for them or on their behalf, but I would not describe Jordy, our guest, as a extroverted person. What would you say? Sorry, would you agree with that statement?
No, only when she has to be.
No, you don't agree with me, or no?
I agree with you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So I was throwing a party at my house, and Jordy was engaging, but she was still kind of in her own like little shell, just like kind of hiding on the couch. And I was like, I want to say something to engage her, to like bring her into the party. And I know Jordy loves the games Assassin's Creed, the whole franchise. In particular, oh, the game's gonna escape me. The
Odyssey.
Thank you. Yes, Odyssey. And so I was in the kitchen, completely a different side of the house. Keep in mind, Jordy was in the living room, and I just offhanded comment. We were just talking about games, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Zara, by the way, I really like Assassin's Creed Odyssey." And then I just hear from the other side of the house, "I fucking love that game!" And Jordy's standing up, pointing across the house. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordy, welcome to the podcast. Welcome. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't that drunk yet.
Everyone kind of stopped for a second, and they're like, "Did she just fucking say that?"
Well, no, it wasn't just. I fucking love that game. It was. I fucking love that game. Like my voice got like really low.
It just dropped a couple octaves.
Yeah. It went, everyone just turned. It was like, what?
It's like the record skipped. The music stopped playing. Even Spotify was like,
Well,
what
finally, someone talked about something that I can fucking talk about.
Oh,
Because other than that, everyone was talking about like I don't know,
like
what?
football and sports and
sports and shit.
Boring.
Finally, someone not only talks about video games in a household of mostly like of people who play video games.
True.
Yeah.
But then they talk about a game that I actually like. So that was fun.
So I got
For
amped
like
up.
the 30 seconds that you guys talked about it, because then you guys talked about something else entirely different. And I was like, well,
I'll see myself out.
Yeah.
I'll just go back to what I was doing.
Time to hide.
You just camouflage back. I'm picturing Kronk from Person Who goes, as he's like up against the side of the building.
Like, how can I go incognito mode?
Yeah. Oh, God, that was so funny. Well, this week is super exciting because this is the first time we have dipped into the universe of Star Wars.
It's kind of like what you talked about with Marvel, where it could be a really slippery slope. Like you start with one like Star Wars movie, and then it's immediately like, so I just watched the book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't even describe it as a slippery slope. I would describe it as like tripping face first into a wormhole of just nothingness. And then you come back out who knows when. So the movie that we reviewed was The Last Jedi, which was number 11.
Let's see.
Right? No.
It was 8, wasn't it? Yeah, it's 8.
8. Okay, yeah. I'm like, it was 17. Yeah,
I know.
8. Yes.
I guess yeah. If you're including like the
Well, so-
spin-offs, but like
True.
they're not really in the.
No, they're like a
It's
Star Wars
episode
story.
8. It's
Yeah.
episode 8.
Right.
Okay,
yes,
nerds. Okay, YouTube comments. It's episode 8.
Yeah. Okay. So, fuck, what was I saying? But this one in particular, I remember seeing it in the theaters when it first came out, and
I
this
saw
is
it 13 times in theaters.
okay. Calm down, Jordy. The cool thing about the Star Wars franchise specifically is I don't know if I think it's the same for you. I grew up with 1, 2, and 3. So Phantom Menace. Is it Empire?
You're only 2 years younger. You're like a year younger than me. You're 2 years younger than Czar. We grew up with the same ones.
I don't know. I'm much younger than you guys are. I don't know about all that speculation, but those are the ones that I grew up with. But my dad, I went and saw the movie with my dad. He grew up obviously with 4, 5, and 6 because he's ancient. And then my sister also saw the movie with us, and she grew up with 7, 8, 9.
Oh, that
and
makes
so those
sense.
are the ones she's only seen in theaters. And so it was really cool to see because we watched 7, 8, 9 all together, and so it was kind of cool for all three of us had seen kind of our own generation of Star Wars. It was pretty cool.
That makes sense.
But so in particular, why? Because we're gonna get into a couple of games and some more questions. But why this movie?
Okay, so this was the one. Well, it's not the one that started it all. Okay, so rewind to The Force Awakens. Okay, so
2015.
the interrogation scene. Okay. That's where most Reylos were born. Okay.
What is a Reylo?
Yeah, what is a Reylo? Please.
Explain what a Reylo is to our
A
audience.
Reylo is a person who ships Rey and Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo, however you want to do it. It's Reylo. A Reylo.
So it's
as
like
in, to
it's
identify
like-
as a Reylo means that you ship Ben and Rey together.
So just like make sure I'm following. It's like Brangelina.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Brad and Angelina. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yes, continue.
Okay, so, but like a lot of us, like it was like a crack ship. It was like this, like, oh, this is never gonna go. Like they're never gonna pair these two together. But like we loved it, so it was like this big community on Tumblr for a while. Go figure.
Tumblr.
Yeah. And I think this is before they shut down a lot of the like.
Yeah, not safe for
stuff.
work.
Yeah. Going on. So, anyways,
What a very political way to say that. Good job.
I know, right?
The
Nailed
porn
it.
before they turned off the porn on Tumblr.
Before they turned off good
when
stuff.
Tumblr was still good.
Good stuff turned off. There, better.
Better.
Is that what you want?
That's what I wanted. Thank you.
So then the trailer for The Last Jedi came out, and it involved Rey reaching out, or Ben reaching out to Rey.
Right.
movie,
Yeah.
And it was like this moment where all of us went, no fucking way. No way.
It's happening.
Like, it's not
It's
gonna happen.
happening.
Well,
There's
we were all like,
sirens
it's
going
not going to
off.
happen. Like, we were
Yeah.
all like, oh, it's just marketing. Like, they know how to market. You know how to get people to watch it because you're either going, oh no, or oh yes.
Yeah.
And then it fucking happened. Like, and then the movie happened, and the movie wasn't great. No, the movie has its issues. I think that it holds up, and I will get into my reasons why. But the movie wasn't like a fantastic movie. It's got its like really lame moments and moments that just like that doesn't make sense or like that was cheesy or whatever. But they gave us Reylo, and that was
Right.
and it came out like during Christmas time.
It did.
And I remember being like disappointed in like some of my gifts, but not enough to be like disappointed in the season because I got Reylo. Like that was my
True,
gift. Ryan
yeah.
Johnson
Yeah.
gave me Reylo.
Thank
and I was
you,
like,
Ryan Johnson.
that's the best gift I've gotten in years. Like that Christmas is over. This is Christmas for me.
That's amazing. That's super cool.
Well, because it could have been really easy where you see trailers all the time where
Sure,
they
yeah.
cut scenes out. Like in the trailer, it's
Right.
like, oh my god, I can't wait to see that. And then you go see the movie, and you're like, okay, when's it coming? When's it coming? It's not there.
Like
What
the
fuck?
Hangover, I think it's a good example of that. It's like, where's
gosh,
Mike
yeah.
Tyson? Where's Mike Tyson? Where's
Yeah.
Mike Tyson? Like the whole time, that's all you're waiting for.
Right.
But that's super interesting. And maybe like a like a media manager for Star Wars was like just on the internet one day, and they're like,
Tumblr.
yeah, let's drive these nerds wild.
Well, so there's some interesting things happened that in the timeline of writing Star Wars. Before The Force Awakens came out, The Last Jedi was like being written. So they actually had a better. There's some interviews out there of like Ryan Johnson, and I think it involves J.J. Abrams.
Okay,
Right?
yeah. He directed, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I try not to bring up his name because I hate the Rise of Skywalker. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
we'll get into that.
yeah. So there's some like interviews that pointed to like the storyboarding for The Last Jedi actually being written before The Force Awakens,
Interesting.
but they had to do that like first introductory movie. You know, they had to have like the fun. You had to get like the audience hyped.
Yeah,
for, like,
let's
the
be
first
honest,
movie.
it was Star Wars foreplay.
Yeah, you had to get
Yeah,
A New
literally.
Hope 2.0.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
well
so
said. Well said.
The
Thank you.
like story of the sequel trilogy was kind of meant to go in the direction of The Last Jedi,
Gotcha.
Mm.
and then was, you know, I don't even know what word to use. Like it just was like not a thing
Yeah.
once they started writing Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
So, but I don't know. It was a win for enemies to lovers fans for sure.
It was really cool because it was something you've never seen in any of the Star Wars movies. The way that and it's later found out that Snoke was actually the one that drew them together. And
Kind of.
But then it was
Kind
found
of.
out that it was actually Darth Sidious that brought them together. So it's like it's this weird kind of like, and maybe
Well, and it's also there's actually a lot of lore that goes into it that you don't even know about in the movies. You have to like read the comics and like know about some of the like TV show stuff.
Right.
Like Rey and Ben are a dyad, meaning they are literal soulmates. They are split from the same soul. And when Rey was born, that's when like stuff started happening with Ben, where Snoke started to reach out. So that was kind of like the moment where they like where a lot of people theorize that like the souls, like his soul, that part of his soul, like split off.
Gotcha.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool though because like the way I saw it at first was like for speed dating, basically. Where I was like, because there's one scene in particular I think is just kind of funny. It's where she's talking to him, but she shoots the gun
Oh yeah.
at him, and he goes ugh, like kind of
Yeah.
like he almost felt it sort of. But then there's another one where it seems like he connects with her, and he's wearing like really high waisted pants and he's
Became a
shirtless.
meme.
Yeah, and so I feel like in his mind he's like, okay, here comes my for speed date, and he like take off his shirt, get ready, and then they like connect, and he goes, oh hey.
He'd gotten done
There's-
like doing push-ups, and he's like,
Yeah,
right,
he gets
here
a
we
pump
go.
going, sprays
"Oh
himself,
my god!"
gets sweaty.
Like Anchorman
There's
when he's
so
like
many.
1005,
Yeah.
1006.
Oh, this is so
many
embarrassing.
fan fictions that explore that idea.
Oh, I bet.
Jordy says fan fiction. Jordy herself has specifically explored. So before we get too carried away, because I know we're going to talk a lot about Star Wars, I want to play
The box office game.
Take it away, Czar.
All right. So 2017. This was a pretty big year for blockbusters. We have sequels, we have reboots, and a lot of Marvel and Disney movies.
Do we still have original Diaz in Hollywood, or are we drifting away from that?
Yeah, no, these are all IPs. Like these are all comic books or something from it. Nothing really original. But I'm gonna say the movie titles in no specific order, but it's gonna be from the most money to less money.
Like what grossed the most?
Yeah, what grossed the most?
And this is 5. You said top 5.
Top 5.
Okay.
All right. So Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Okay.
I'll wait for Jared.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Guardians 2.
Okay.
Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
And Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yeah. I had all those written down.
Okay. You're like looking it up on your phone. Like, all right. Oh, yeah. Wow, all 5. Damn.
Okay, I'm missing some. So Spider-Man, Star Wars, Wonder Woman, Guardians.
Beauty and the Beast and Last Jedi, obviously.
Was the Beauty and the Beast? Is that the one with?
Live action one.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
live
one with.
action one.
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson.
Yeah, them Guardian, live your beast.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Guardians 2. That was pretty good. We saw it in
Yeah, it was
theaters.
good.
I liked it.
It was good.
I've never seen it.
You got Kurt Russell with that magnificent beard.
Was he the Beast?
He was. Yes.
Wait, he
Yes.
wasn't Belle.
He was both. He played both. It was pretty. I'm pretty proud of
He
him.
could do it. He could do
Oh
that.
yeah, no, I'd pay for it.
All right, I've got mine. Jordy, are you
Okay.
ready? Okay, take it away.
All right.
Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, wrong button.
Oh my god.
Okay, start with number 5 and then go work your way
Alright.
forward.
Number 5 is Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh wait, I feel like we should probably say them first.
Oh well.
What do you
Should I,
think?
should I say mine?
Go,
Yeah,
go
you
for
say
it.
yours, and I know I already screwed up because I had Spider-Man at 1.
Okay.
I'm notoriously horrible at this game.
Okay,
Okay.
so Czar went actually like in order but backwards. So 5 Spider-Man, 4 is Guardians, 3 is Wonder Woman, 2 is Beauty and the Beast, 1 is Last Jedi.
Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah. That's all
cheating,
5.
cheating,
So
cheating.
fun fact, this didn't get said in my intro, but I'm dating Czar. So I know a lot of the
what?
Excuse me? When?
Czar's like, I specifically wanted to leave that out of the podcast.
Well, I'm just saying, I have a movie obsessed boyfriend.
That's true.
So
True,
I
that is
pay
true,
attention
yeah.
a lot. Also,
That's true.
I was very into like cinema analysis during this time because of The Last Jedi. So I actually
Oh.
like looked at a lot of
The box office.
yeah, a lot of information on like what,
Oh
how
my-
well movies did.
I could see you being like looking at The Last Jedi and any movie that comes out, you're like, no, stay at 1, stay at 1, stay at
well,
1,
Last
stay at
Jedi
1.
came out like last out of all of those.
Yeah, because he came out
Yeah.
at Christmas
Yeah.
time, yeah.
Yeah, but you're
So-
still like every single week, it's just like, don't fall from 1, don't fall from 1, don't fall
Yeah.
from 1.
Well, so this is my list. I can't remember what it was,
Go
but
for
so
it.
I said Spider-Man at 1, Star Wars at 2,
Okay.
Wonder Woman at 3,
Hey, you got that one right?
Gal Gadot, biggest celebrity crush of all time. Oh my god.
Until she opens her mouth. I'm kidding.
Wow, leaving it in the podcast. Okay, number 4 was
Gal Gadot,
Guardian.
if you're watching this, I didn't mean it. Please put me in your
Gal
next
Gadot,
movie.
if you're watching this, hi, my name is Jared. My phone number is 5. Guardians 2 at 4,
Oh, you got that one right.
and then 5 was Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, 5 was Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Honestly, probably should have been switched.
Jared
Like I
just-
was shocked when I saw that like Beauty and the Beast was in the top 5.
Yeah, that
I didn't expect that. It just wasn't.
Nobody did.
It wasn't
But-
that good.
that's kind of like what Jared talked about before, where for certain IPs, like
You keep seeing IP out of, what does that mean?
internet, like intellectual
Intellectual
property. Yeah, for certain IPs,
Oh.
when
original.
like when a bank kind of you talking about like taking out a loan, like with a Marvel movie, they're gonna have so much money for a budget because they know they're gonna make their money back.
Sure.
So when you try to reboot Beauty and the Beast or something like Lion King, you're almost certain to make your money back.
That's fair. Yeah.
Well, and Logan came out this year too. I was shocked that
Oh,
Logan
man.
was in the
Oh,
top
that's
5,
such a
'cause
good
it was
movie.
So
And
popular.
Get Out, and Logan
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah, but like
Get Out. Logan came out.
But Get Out, since it was like marketed as like, well, it was supposed to be like a horror movie, which it was, and then
Yeah.
some people took it as a comedy, which is
Really
fucking
awkward.
offensive. But,
So bad.
but then like Beauty and the Beast number 2.
I know.
Really?
Yeah,
Wonder
that's how
Woman
I
number
felt.
2.
Imagine being on the podcast when Zara tells you that in the top 5, Ice Age 4, and you try to not break the table in half with your leg.
That was so amazing.
It
I'll never
was
forget
painful. So one of the first things I want to talk about in this movie is, because I know as a standalone movie, there's a lot of back and forth. Like I feel like the Star Wars fan base is nearly split in half.
It really was.
Yeah.
It was seriously like 54, like 46. Like
Yeah.
percent. It was
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
was massively split in half. Rise of Skywalker, I think, was very similar.
It was,
but like
yeah.
it wasn't as even as
Right.
Last Jedi.
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So this is the game I want to play. I want to play
Ooh.
the part of the I didn't like this movie because blah, 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 and then I want Jordy to defend the movie. Okay.
Right.
So one of the things, so before I get into this, personally, I think it's a good movie. The only gripe that I had with it is the continuation of the Star Wars saga didn't really feel like it moved. Like Snoke died, but that was also kind of upsetting because I didn't really feel like we got to know him super well.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was kind of like, the First Order shows up. We ran out of gas. Snoke dies, and the movie ends. So for me, that was my big thing, is I didn't feel like the story really progressed. And my problem is I tied that to what I saw in the trailer, where it was like the one big thing that they marketed with this movie is there's paper in Star Wars. There's these like Jedi documents or
Oh my
whatever.
God.
Like, and
The sacred texts.
yeah, that was like a big thing that was marketed. And then he burns them. He literally like destroys them. And I'm sure there's reasons for that, but it was like,
Didn't Yoda actually burn it because he had the fire, and then Yoda's like, "Fuck you!" And
yeah, he
makes the
went to
fire.
run in and
Yeah.
then it blew up. And he's like, "It's supposed to happen." Exactly.
That was a really good impression.
He even had like a funny line. He said, "They weren't really a page turner."
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like,
page turner, they were not.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you.
It's read it, did you?
Hello. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
But I think that, so that's my one gripe, is I just didn't really feel like it progressed the saga as much as I was looking for. But so this is the first question I have for you, or to kind of like debunk this. One of the big plot holes that they say is in this movie, and I'm going to forget her name. It was the
Rose.
Who?
Rose.
Maybe the commander that wasn't.
Oh,
The
Holdo.
purple-
Yes, it's called
Yeah.
the Holdo maneuver plot hole. And what it was is when she went light speed through Snoke's ship, that everyone was not okay with that. And the reason why is because if you rewind to previous Star Wars movies, they're like, well, why didn't they just do that to the Death Star? Why
I
did they?
guess. I mean, but then they would have to be like I think part of it is they would have to be like sacrificing themselves.
Well, yeah, it was
do it, right?
literal
Yeah.
kamikaze spaceship. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 100%. Yeah,
Yeah. So like you've got to have enough like bravery to
definitely in quotes. Bravery is
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
in quotes.
yeah, for sure. Like that one, I mean, that one is a hard one because it really was kind of more of a like just a cool moment.
Right.
Like when I
yeah.
think about it in a storytelling perspective, it does not mean anything really to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really was more of just like a cool moment, which is visually one of my favorite parts.
Yeah,
Story-wise.
It looks really
cinematically.
cool.
I remember in
Yeah.
the theaters, the sound where she like hits light speed
And it cuts.
and then goes, "Brrr."
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just silent, and everyone goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
oh.
I didn't know you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna
Snoke's
call
like,
back.
That's illegal.
Yeah, to one of the things that me and Zara used to say, because I'm notorious the plot hole guy. I'm gonna get a T-shirt soon. But Zara always goes, "Hey, hi, I'm the director here. Hey, don't pay attention to that.
Yeah,
don't pay attention to that.
don't
Look
think
at that
about it.
movie. Look at the
Ooh, pretty lights.
explosion. Yeah,
Oh,
explosion.
romance.
Yeah.
Raylo.
Don't stop asking
Hey.
questions. Stop asking questions."
They almost touched hands.
But something like that, I feel like what happens to a lot of die-hard Star Wars fans is anything new that's introduced, there's always going to be somebody that's like, all right, I'm going to take this new information and I'm going to rewatch every movie over and over and over again. And that was the one thing that I kept come up with this one was like, there's multiple different situations where that same, they called it the maneuver, could have been done elsewhere. And yeah, it's still like, I mean, who's going to make the call of like, all right, Czar, go ahead and get on that spaceship and drive right into the Death Star. It's like, yeah, you bring up a really good point as to why that wouldn't happen, but to me it kind of made sense because as 3 is ending and 4 is starting, where kind of Rogue One takes place, where they have like the blueprints of the Death Star, and they're like, okay, we have to shoot the Death Star on this one ventilation, whatever it was, but it was like that was also supposedly a plot hole that just turned into its own movie to kind of solve it, basically.
That's true.
So what my hope is that they turn that plot hole into another movie.
I don't think I say that I don't think they're gonna do anything regarding The Last Jedi. Like I feel like they want to just forget about it, but there's been rumor about Daisy and Adam coming back for a potential TV show. It is just rumor. It is not, but it like there are contracts.
And the movie was #1 at the box office. Like that's the thing is
I know,
people can
that-
be
yeah.
like, oh, the movie was awful. It's like, well, it still made a lot of money though.
Problem with that is, Last Jedi made a lot of money, but Solo didn't because it was
Oh.
in direct response to The Last Jedi, which is why Rise of Skywalker, they undid everything.
Right.
Which, okay, so you were saying, like, it just felt like nothing got solved.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the point of the, like, second movie
Yeah.
or second, like, iteration of any story. Like, there's plot things that are kind of introduced that rely on the first story but don't get solved until the end because that's just kind of how like narratively that's supposed to like work. Because the Rise of Skywalker didn't solve any of the issues that The Last Jedi introduced because Rise of Skywalker wanted to just erase The Last Jedi. It made The Last Jedi even more of a like failure or feel even more
It was more
unfulfilling.
disengaged
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like they were trying to put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. So my question for you is, what's your favorite scene from the entire movie?
Oh, the battle in the red room.
Ooh, that was a really
the
cool
thigh
scene.
grab? Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Wait, when Snoke grabbed.
Raised
Oh.
thigh.
No. When Rey and Ben are fighting back to back, and then Ben leans forward. Missed the mic there. Leans forward, and then like Rey like leans onto his back, and like she grabs his thigh and like stabs someone. I can bring up the picture.
No, it's okay. I'll believe you. I'll take your word for it.
I just watched it. I mean,
That scene.
you didn't see that?
No. That you didn't rewatch that specific
Jordy's
part
like,
9
freeze frame,
times.
zoom in.
Every like
frame,
good
frame,
scene,
frame.
I would be like, babe, shut up. It's here. The Raylo scene is here. And then once it was done, I was like, okay, you can talk now. I don't care about what Poe and Rose are doing. Finn and Rose.
The red room scene was really, really cool.
It
I
was.
remember being in theaters not thinking that Snoke was gonna die.
Yeah, same.
But that was a shock for sure. And then the fight like broke out, and the guards were really cool because I remember having a Lego set with the like red cloaked characters,
Ooh.
and then going there as an adult, and I'm like, but wait, they're real, they're there, they're guarding him. Yeah,
I really like the one who has like the nunchucks and like wraps it
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
Rey's like lightsaber and like or wraps it around her and starts like pulling
yeah,
Rey.
that was
that
intense.
was sick.
That was intense. Yeah, the only thing that I thought wasn't that I wanted more of was more like lightsaber play.
I would agree.
For sure.
There wasn't an like if you like for me again growing up in 1, 2, and 3, I was spoiled with constant
Oh god.
lightsaber fights. I want more lightsaber fights. Like
Yeah.
it was a constant thing.
Yeah.
Like if you think about how episode 3 starts,
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
Anakin and Kenobi are literally flying in, that they go in and just savagely destroy hundreds of droids.
Or even General Grievous has like 6 lightsabers.
Yeah.
Because he's
I
like,
feel like that was
more General Kenobi.
But if you watch the originals, there's like, I mean, there's lightsabers, but like it's not as much as
No,
It's not as
the
dramatized,
the
no.
prequels. I feel like the prequels
Well, no, yeah.
were like, we have to sell these toy lightsabers.
Yes.
You got to do a ton of.
Yeah.
And like
they
if you
did.
watch the like
And it
combat,
works.
right? If you watch the combat of the originals, all they are like is like, but like then in the prequels they do all these like sick tricks.
Oh yeah,
But
the
okay,
behind the
to,
scenes where
to
they just,
defend the originals, they were definitely like
Oh my
30
God,
years in the past.
Yeah, but they're
Oh,
so
yeah.
much better. Also, like
Yeah.
that's hands down. Like the prequels.
Because the one
awful.
scene where Obi-Wan Kenobi dies, he
Yeah,
like
he's
literally is
like,
like, "Oh," and then just gets attacked, and it's like, oh, okay.
yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
But my dad, I remember talking to him about that. And the way he described it is he also saw the first one like hundreds of times in the theaters. He's like, because there was literally nothing else like that.
That's what I heard. Like
There was nothing
like
else.
kids would be
What my
like,
parents said.
I'm gonna see this movie 13 times. Another kid would be like, I'm gonna see it 20 times. And so
Yeah.
they would just like race to watch it
Yeah.
as many times
Yeah.
as possible.
My dad used to sneak in and watch it.
Classic dad.
He'd go to the theater and like buy like one ticket to watch one movie, and then he'd spend the entire day at the theater. And I think he'd watch like Star Wars over and over.
Now I'm wondering what movie your dad paid to see at that time. Like
I don't
some
know.
just like
It
Snoopy.
might have been Star Wars.
Snoopy
and then he
goes
just watched
home.
It again.
Speaks
Yeah.
into it.
What about you, Zar? Favorite scene?
Not the casino scene. I just want to say that right now. Like when we
Yeah.
went and saw it in theaters, when the casino scene happened, my eyes glazed
Yeah.
over. I was like,
I know, it's so boring.
And then the kids pop up, and I'm like, dude, I don't care about younglings. Okay.
And it's weird. The movie ended with one of the kids.
I know it was supposed to reference like it's like saying the Last Jedi, but like it's not the Last Jedi. Like there's
Because
kids
didn't
out
he
there.
didn't he use the Force to like grab the
Yeah,
broom?
yeah.
and then he never shows up
the
again.
Third movie. That's what I'm saying.
Someone go
like,
find that kid. Get that kid. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the third movie dropped the ball on that
Oh,
because they were
God.
trying to appease to all the people that hated the Last Jedi.
Yeah, it was basically like the Star Wars version of the Kentucky Derby was happening.
I would say my favorite scene is the one of the battleships shooting at Luke, and Kylo Ren's yelling like more, and he's just like all that dust, because the first time I saw it, there's just this red mist that popped up in theaters because the
Oh.
ground was red, and I was like, oh my god, did they just kill Luke Skywalker?
just
Annihilated.
blood mist.
Just a pink mist.
And then J.J. Abrams, roll credits.
Yeah, exactly. No, I would say that that was my favorite part. I would also say that I think I was too harsh on this movie, because seeing it in theaters, the entire time we watched it last night, I was like, what were my expectations in theaters? Because I liked it a lot more this time, because I think this is the second time that I've seen this, and I liked it a lot more this go around. So I'm like, what was I even expecting in theaters? Like, what was it that disappointed me so much? Like,
I don't know.
I think the casino scene happened and my brain just checked out. I'm like,
Well, you
where's Luke?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you also saw it. You saw it what 2 or 3 weeks after it came out.
I did, yeah.
And I think that you just went into it like, oh, this is gonna suck because everyone else says it sucks.
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay,
I'm a movie
classic
guy,
czar.
so-
That's classic czar. No, I agree. So, your favorite scene was the where Luke Skywalker comes in front of all the walkers. Is that what you
Yeah,
said? Yeah.
that was my favorite scene.
I think for me was probably the very beginning of the movie where they're like getting chased and Poe is flying towards the giant ship.
With BB-8.
Yeah, and he's like,
Like,
sir.
can I talk to Hugs, please?
Oh, that
Yeah.
was really fun.
Yeah, that's it. It's like he's like, hello, yeah, I'll hold. Like it was really funny, but then it was
Yeah.
like it's just one ship. Like he's just a death wish, and then he does like the aerial combat was like super cool, and he flew around, destroyed everything, and I don't know, that scene in particular for me, like it was a great way to kick off the movie. I was like immediately engaged.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But
I would agree
did you
with that.
guys like the Poe stuff as much as anything else? Because for me, that's why I like the movie.
I wish there was more.
Okay, so a lot of people complain that Poe is like randomly like really, what's the word I want to use? Like he's really spicy in this one. He is
he
like
gets
really
literally
reckless.
tased or shot.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he's like, they're like, oh, they made him like reckless, and there's some like discourse about whether it was racially charged or not. But I think what it really is that like you want these characters to grow. You want them to go through a character arc.
Yeah.
Poe didn't really get much of a character arc or an
No.
introduction in
No.
the first one.
No.
Not at all.
This was his introductory, like, hey, this is how this character is. He's kind of reckless.
He's like, hey, I have feelings too.
Yeah, like he's
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm gonna do what I want because I'm badass.
Fuck you, don't tell me what
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, he shows that like he's much more like mature
Team.
and ready. So I liked a lot of the Poe stuff. I kind of wish it was Poe and Finn going
Yeah.
together.
That's
instead
what
of
I
Rose.
really wanted,
I like
yeah.
Rose as a character.
Yeah.
I just don't like that they forced a romance with Finn and Rose.
Yeah.
That was so random.
When they
And then-
kissed, I remember when they kissed in theaters, and then she went,
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah. What
Yeah.
just happened?
Yeah. It's like that was very
Yeah.
odd.
God,
Super
and then
forced.
you see Rise of Skywalker, and she's got
And she's
like
not
a
in it.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love the.
Well, and
this-
she got bullied off of social media.
Yeah.
Like the
There was a behind the scenes video where Entertainment Tonight had the whole cast of Rise of Skywalker, and they're like, say something like that you love.
say like if you could describe this movie in one line or like one phrase, what would it be? And Oscar Isaac just goes, "They fly now," and like that's what he leaves it at. I love that.
Well, because they also asked the actress that played Rose, they're like, how do you feel about your character in Rise of Skywalker? And she was like,
Yeah, like she like doesn't know how to answer. She's
she's
like,
Yeah, you know
fucking
why she doesn't know how
line.
to answer? Is because Mickey is standing behind her going, yeah, say what I said. Say what I told you to say.
smile for the people.
Yeah. Don't say anything I didn't tell you to. It's terrifying. It was definitely a roller coaster of emotion, and I totally agree with you. I remember seeing it in theaters and going, and then leaving, and then rewatching it recently as almost kind of like a standalone Star Wars movie. It actually wasn't really as bad as I remember it being.
Right.
But the other kind of gripe that I saw a lot of people having specifically with this movie was back to Snoke and how you kind of saw him a little bit in Force Awakens, and then there was all of these theories that were created as like literally everything. And it's kind of funny because a lot of people, what ended up being Darth Sidious in the end, they thought was Snoke all along, was like one of the biggest theories. But that was the other big gripe that people had, is like, what was the purpose in killing him off so quickly?
yeah,
Because
I
they
mean-
had to
Yeah.
just move. Because the thing too is like, do you guys know, did they have Rise of Skywalker already written and ready?
No.
No.
Rise of Skywalker was first of all like written after The Last Jedi, and then it was completely revised several times.
That's what I
Um,
heard.
Like major revisions. There's rumors that like, and this would have been so much better, that it was going to be more focused on like Finn leading the Stormtrooper rebellion,
I wanted to see that so
which
bad.
would have been so cool. That would have
That
been
would've been so cool.
And it
good.
would have made sense.
Well, the one
Yeah.
really weird scene was when he's like about to. Oh, maybe this is Rise of Skywalker. No, I don't know. It's the scene where he gets captured. No, it's not. It's so they get the guy that cracks the codes or whatever, and then he like makes a plea deal basically and tells them that the transports are going to the planet, and then he's getting ready to leave, and then him and the girl are literally about ready to get executed, and then the the chick freaking right through the ship, and then the whole army is just gone, and then like the next scene it's like everything's on fire, and she's going, wake up, and it's like, what the fuck? And then like from the shadow off in the corner, you then see them come back in a shot, and it's like, so okay, just to get this straight, they all like just disappeared, and then all of a sudden it was like this cinematic, just smoke and flames, and they all just like walk out effortlessly. I was like, I don't know, didn't buy it.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
for sure.
I wanted that scene. I wanted the scene where he's like, hey guys, you have free will and you can do the good thing.
Yeah.
That would be really cool because
Yeah.
then he could actually
That
do
would've been-
something.
and that would have made sense. I don't
Especially
know.
for his
I just-
character.
Yeah, like, and what was the other thing? There was another thing that like narratively would have made sense that they did without, but now I'm forgetting.
Well, so the other thing while you're thinking about that I think I didn't give this movie
Oh,
enough.
Snoke, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead.
So, like, with how everything went with Hux and Snoke, and they kill off Snoke in the second one, that would have been perfect for the third movie to make Hux the big bad,
Yeah.
and have
Right.
there be a lot more backstory into Snoke and how that may have led, like, his reign led to Hux being the big bad. But
Right.
then in Rise of Skywalker, they're like, oh no, Hux is he just hates Kylo Ren so much that he like gives information to the First Order and gets caught. Like it was
Oh,
just
God.
stupid.
Boo.
I
yeah.
did laugh really hard when Hux is trying to give an order and Kylo throws him against the
I
wall.
know, I love that.
So the thing though
the other
about
guy's like, right away, sir.
so yeah, Hux he's like the general, right? So I feel like the people that get shit on the most in Star Wars movies are like the first in command that's
God,
not
yeah.
a Jedi. Like just get brutally beat down by
Darth
Sith
Vader's
Lords.
like choked
Yeah, but then
people.
Yeah.
They like in Rise of Skywalker, they like introduced like that other like general that basically took Hux's place, so
Yeah.
that they could kill. They could have just used Hux.
Right.
Like, I
Yeah.
just don't and they could have just done without Palpatine.
But like-
Hi,
but-
I have
J.J.
my own
Abrams
issues.
here. Don't think about
Jordy.
this.
Hey, hi, Jordy. Stop asking questions. I think the big thing too, the commanders, like I was saying, I feel like always get shit on by the Sith Lords, and in particular, one of my favorite scenes of ever, like any Star Wars movie ever, was in Rogue One.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because it's that guy that like tries to track down Galen Erso or whatever, and then he goes to Darth Vader
Oh my God,
on this
it's
like
the best.
volcanic chamber planet, and he's like smack talking Darth Vader. Like that guy's got some cojones because he's like, Darth Vader, why did you do some-" and then he's like, and he's like, don't choke on your aspirations, Commander.
And he's like going like this. Oh
Yeah.
my God, it was so fucking cool.
Yeah, I was like, why would you even speak to Darth Vader? Like, I wouldn't want to be in the same planet or solar system as that man.
It's honestly how I feel about the Batman The Dark Knight Rises when that one guy's like, where's Bane? And he's shit talking Bane. And he's like, speak of the devil and he'll appear. And it's just like, wow, what
That was
the
a little,
fuck?
yeah, that was the exact
He just
same.
comes out of the darkness. It's like, wow, way to try to fuck with the biggest man in the room, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, that scene though was so. But I just feel like every commander of the Empire just gets shit all over. Like they like, oh, I haven't thought of this.
They like go through a ton of years of school. They're in financial debt, and they finally hit the top. And then Kylo Ren just throws them against the wall.
Yeah, it's like, hello, this is getting force choked 101. I'm your professor.
How to handle if Kylo Ren gets angry? Like in the first one,
Yeah.
when he's destroying the entire room, and the stormtroopers are like, "Fuck this."
Yeah. There was one of the best memes that came out of that, and it was like when you don't clean the house and your mom comes home, and it's just brutally destroying this room.
Well, I mean, it's like the two officers in Last Jedi when they see the destroyed like helmet or whatever, because Kylo's coming down, and then they
Yeah,
just
he's like the elevator doors open and he's just like, prepare my ship, and like walks away, and they're just like,
Yeah.
Did you shit yourself? I shat myself.
Yeah. Do these suits have a zipper by chance? Yeah. The one thing that I will say, and this is definitely a hot take, I thought that Adam Driver did a better job, and I don't know the actor's name, but the guy who played Anakin Skywalker.
Hayden Christensen.
That Adam Driver did a better job of kind of selling the split between good and bad.
Oh, yeah.
And you can really see like the frustration in his face when he's confronting Luke Skywalker, like on the battlefield, like how he's like upset that he like let him down and he was going to kill him and blah, blah, blah. Because then if you watch like episode 3, like specifically the scene where Padme comes off of the ship and she's like, Anakin, I'm pregnant and
Killed young
killed young. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, we're going to rule the Empire together, babe. It's going to be so good. And he's like, you're not talking to that scumbag Obi-Wan, right? And she's like, well, he's
actually, he's right here.
yeah, because there's the shot of him and he's standing.
You are not the father.
Yeah, he's standing at the top of the ship like this. And he's like, oh, really? And then Padme is like, you've changed. And then it turns into this, like, the scene's actually kind of cool because, like, lava's going off and they're cinematically, like, circling. And then Obi-Wan's like, yeah, we're going to have to get into a really badass fight scene now. And Anakin's like, dude, we're about to get into a really badass fight scene right now.
You should have looked at him and been like, you don't know how many video games are going to come out of this.
Yeah. But the one thing that I love about Star Wars that was not in this one, and maybe it was, but it wasn't as dramatic, you know shit is about to go down when a Jedi drops his robe.
Oh.
Well,
Think about
Kylo Ren, he shook his leg off.
He did,
Oh,
yes,
that's true.
yeah. But it wasn't in the sense of like they're talking, cloaks off, shit just got real. Like think about the Phantom Menace, like not a great movie, but the second you see Darth Maul, everyone else is like, okay, we're gonna go this way, and then Anakin and Obi-Wan take their cloaks off, and it's like, here we go.
I think it's like when someone takes their earrings out, or they like take their rings off.
Yeah, it's the same thing. All right, here we go. It's the same cup, but I love the end of Star Wars movie because I'm like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
Even as a little kid, you're sitting at theaters and you're just freaking
And
out.
literally, as a kid, I'm like, that means he doesn't like him. But yeah, like I was saying, I think Adam Driver did a better job of kind of selling the frustration that he had of going back and forth. And it was interesting because, again, if you compare The Last Jedi to Episode 3, almost the same sort of story where Anakin is like, Padme, babe. I don't know why he talks like that.
Just go for it, surfer guy.
He's like, we could like rule the Empire together or whatever. And then after the Red Room scene, Adam Driver is like, so I know we had like a couple Force dates and like that was kind of cool.
But not to me.
Yeah.
Like that's the most romantic thing you've ever heard. Right?
Yeah. And then Rey logically is like, hey, you should stop, destroying all of these innocent people in transport ships. And he goes, no, like everyone should die, right? And she's like, what? And he's like, no, like we should let's just start over.
And I mean, your parents were kind of garbage, right? So
yeah. He's like, let's just get fresh start, but caveat, we have to kill everyone.
All of your friends.
And he's like, wait a second, you're not on board. What are you not understanding? But it followed the Red Room scene, so it kind of made sense narratively, like you said, that the next, like, Snoke's dead, all that stuff, because then the next couple scenes is that Commander is like, he's trying to say, like, oh, the Supreme Ruler's gone, like, who's going to be the Supreme Ruler? Like, why do you think it's you? And then Homie gets force choked, and it's like,
exactly.
Stepped out of line. So the last question I like to end on is I always ask everybody, because the guests that we have on, we let them pick the movie, but if you had to take a scene or even a sequence of scenes out of the movie, what would you remove?
I'd probably remove the casino scenes.
You
That
didn't like Star Wars Kentucky Derby?
No.
You made a great point with how the music in that scene sounds like the.
Oh yeah, so
Dun, dun,
the
dun,
music,
dun, dun,
yeah,
dun,
it's
dun,
like the
dun, dun, dun,
cantina, and I'm
yeah.
like, I feel like they just wrote this in to be like the new cantina, even though we already had the like Maz's bar. I don't know. It was boring. It was really forced. Like it just forced Rose and Finn together.
Yeah.
Gave us like a backstory that we didn't really need. Like it could have been so much better. it could have been so much better.
Yeah, the thing too that was kind of weird about the scene is the girl. I keep forgetting her name. That
Holdo
goes.
or Rose?
The girl that goes there with.
Rose.
Yes, Rose. She's like, oh, this planet sucks. Oh, it's the worst planet ever. It's just terrible. It's disgusting. And so you're expecting this like literal,
Shithole.
yeah, like Detroit planet.
Detroit, we don't mean that.
Hey, Detroit. Sorry about that. But basically, that's what you're expecting. It's just a overpass planet, basically, and it's not. It's like really ritzy, and then you're like, okay, that's kind of weird. Why'd you say that? And then she's like, dun dun dun, slave labor, and it's like
Child slave labor.
yeah, took a weird turn. And then we
Yeah.
talked about this earlier, but like the kid. Or maybe we didn't, but the kid at the end, or you see as like the kind of the slave labor kid at the very, very end of the movie, he brings the broom to him, and then does not mention again in the following movie. But
And the
yeah,
kids
it's just,
were talking about the story. It seemed like they were telling the story of the entire movie almost.
Yeah.
The kid was like, and
That
then
was
the
a
one
weird
creature
scene.
comes out, just like,
and the kid's
It
like,
was-
I'm gonna go outside and sweep before I get beat.
so my childhood.
Yeah, time to sweep. Yeah. So, Czar, if you had to remove a scene, what would you take out?
The ending with the kids.
Yeah.
If the movie had ended with like Leia and all of them hanging out and talking, and then the like the credits would play immediately after that, perfectly fine. But having that like extra 2 minutes of the little kids where it's like, okay, this isn't going to come back.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's probably not going to come back. There's probably not going to be like the prequel with the little kid and now he's a new
Yeah.
So that would be second would be the casino scene, because what are we even doing?
Yeah, I think for me, if I had to take a scene out, there's kind of two in question. One, I would adjust. I wouldn't light speed through the ship. I would keep Snoke alive because cool character. Let's let him live for another movie. And
the best fight scene.
it was cool, but like I think it would be also equally like climactic and kind of tugs on your heartstrings if she just like pulled in front and blocked the shots and just got like lit up and like died for them and didn't go like light speed through them. Was just kind of like a barricade.
Oh,
And they had to like shoot through and destroy
Right,
her.
and then it could have been a distraction moment for like Snoke, like, and Snoke wouldn't have gotten killed in that instance.
Right, or like the ship wouldn't be destroyed. Like none of that would happen, and so then hopefully there would be a continuation for him in the next movie. Or another scene that I would probably remove is one of the conversational pieces between the Admiral girl we don't like and Poe, where he's like, "What are you doing here? Hey, you're a traitor, right?" Like whatever he says, and she's like, "No, I'm just like we have to escape somehow." And he's like, "You're putting gas in the transports?" Like one of those scenes. I just felt like they kind of went back and forth. And like, okay, we get it, Poe. You don't know what's going on, and she also doesn't know what she's doing.
I want to address.
Well, and it's like, well, it was Poe's whole character growth was dependent on Holdo holding back information. Like, and
Super
it just
weird.
was like,
Yeah, super
it was
weird.
kind of like, it was unfulfilling for Poe's arc.
Yeah.
For sure. And like, that was like Holdo's really, like, her only functionary purpose was to like, to
Be a
grow
dick.
Poe. Yeah. Like, and
Yeah.
to like withhold information for seemingly no reason.
Yeah.
Like,
It wasn't like it was like, oh, I can't tell you this because if I tell you, something else is going to happen. It's like, I'm just, why not?
I thought what was really awkward was when Princess Leia gets frozen, or when she does the Force.
Oh, that was
flies through the
weird. I
space.
felt
yeah,
wrong.
that was.
And they
It was
kept,
cringy.
yeah, and they kept her alive for Rise of Skywalker also,
Yeah.
even though she had died in 2016. So she died in 2016. Last Jedi,
Not dead yet.
Last Jedi.
Another movie. That's Mickey just resurrecting someone as a necromancer. I'm sorry, Disney.
holograms. No, it was just super awkward because we went and saw Rise of Skywalker, and I was like, well, they're probably going to give her some kind
Well,
of
we didn't
send-off.
go see it.
Oh, yeah.
But
Laura
was
got
that
me
your-
tickets,
Yeah,
and
that's
you
true.
were seeing My Chemical Romance. So
That's
I
true.
went with her, and then you're like, "Do you want to go see it again?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to see Ben Solo die again. No."
Don't fight mom and dad.
But it was so awkward because I thought like, oh, well, maybe they'll have like some kind of send off, like you mentioned last night, like maybe a funeral scene, or just
I think it should have
something.
started. I think Rise of Skywalker should have started with Leia's funeral.
Yes.
And then that is what got Ben to come to the light side. And then he could have journeyed with Poe and Finn and Rey
100%.
while Finn was leading the Stormtrooper Rebellion. Come on.
Are
Better
you
movie.
listening, Mickey?
Better
Write that
movie.
down.
Better
Better
so
movie.
much better.
That would've been
Think of
great.
like all the tension between like, here's Ben, like who, you know, everyone hates, but like he's switching sides.
Yeah.
It's just so awkward seeing her in Rise of Skywalker when I'm just like, it's been like 3 years since you've passed. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's interesting though, because Ben's character, there hasn't been any other dark side character that has fully converted over other than him. That I know of, like in the theatrical version. I don't know about the comic books or anything like that. Just copyright, saving myself. But
the comments are just exploding.
I say that and they're like, oh, really?
Really, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Have
but
you seen Disney Plus?
yeah, subsection, yeah. But like even Anakin like doesn't really come back. Darth Vader doesn't really like
No.
maybe in the ghost form or whatever, but like there's not like he's the first character I really feel like to do that. And that would have been a great way to start that arc with that funeral scene. I think that would be perfect.
I wish it would have, because what you're describing is a better movie. Not, oh, Palpatine returned from
Right,
getting iced
somehow
coffee from
Palpatine.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Like,
He went,
just when he said Palpatine somehow returned,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, Oscar Isaac is fucking hating this.
It's also weird too because in Rise of Skywalker, he's like, "Okay, Rey, you have to kill me now so I can live through you." And she's like, "Okay, well, actually, I changed my mind, but then I'm still gonna kill you, but technically it doesn't count, so you can't live with me because you technically
Yeah.
killed yourself."
It was so
was
it's
weird.
so convoluted and just dumb.
Yeah.
Like it was just dumb.
It was
Like it was
odd.
just a dumb idea.
And that
I don't-
movie implies that Palpatine fucks too, which
Well,
is really awkward.
Yeah, it was a clone
it.
of Palpatine. They
Oh, okay.
they clarify that later, and now I'm forgetting where they clarified
Was this
it.
another Tumblr thread that you?
No, it was
That's
actually
the
like
freaky tab.
it was either in a comic.
Palpatine not safe for.
I grow stronger.
It was in like an additional like piece of information. Fuck off.
Okay,
But-
sure, Jordy.
No, it was like a clone of, and that like that's how they. I don't know. That's how they
Palpatine-
stitched up that issue was being like it was actually a clone of
Sure,
Palpatine.
yeah.
J.J. Abrams is like, hi, don't think of that Palpatine fucks, okay?
Palpatine is like the Zeus of the Star Wars universe, just transforming into
Yeah.
different creatures. Okay, well, on that note, one last question we need to ask because I forgot about it. But if we always ask everyone to rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10, one thing that keeps coming up that I just want to clarify because I feel like a lot of people, they kind of dwell on watchability, like, oh, I can't watch the movie over and over and over again. I don't really think that necessarily attributes to the score,
Yeah.
maybe in some way, but like we were mentioning, Boys in the Hood,
Yep.
almost a 10 out of 10 movie. I can't watch that.
No, I can't watch someone like.
I can't
oh my
watch
God.
Ricky get shot with a shotgun blast from behind over and over again.
Oh, I'm enjoying my coffee. Let's watch Ricky die. There
Yeah.
goes his dreams and aspirations.
It can't
Well,
happen.
that'd be like Hereditary. Like
Oh.
Hereditary is my favorite movie.
Yeah, eating
aside from The Last
oatmeal
Jedi.
and then just seeing like.
Right, but I can't watch that one over and over.
Yeah,
I can't watch that one.
Till
Get ready
October.
for October.
Okay, so if I were to give the movie a scale of 1 to 10, for me, this is probably, I would say, a 6 for me. There's definitely scenes, like even just listening to the intro, that was like,
Oh,
holy
God.
shit. It's, like, it was so good. But the couple gripes I had again was like the progression of the story weren't enough cloak dropping lightsaber battles. We need more of that. And then also, too, I guess now what I'm realizing is like, if you think about the main infantry of 1, 2, and 3, those episodes, it was just droids. So it's like, okay, go kill 100 of droid. But like in a Disney movie, when you're killing actual like troopers, like you're killing people,
Yeah.
probably wouldn't look that good to like, you know, just mass kill like a whole squadron of people. But yeah, I would say a 6 for me. Like I remember seeing it in the theaters and thinking it was and I think back then I probably would have given it like a 4 or 5. But I think honestly it probably gets a 6 for me.
What about you?
I think like an 8. For me, it gets a solid 8. I think the cinematography was amazing. Like I think it is a beautifully shot movie. I love the Raylo in it. Obviously, Adam Driver is amazing in it. But like and I think the story made sense if they would have carried on with the narrative flow into the third one, which they didn't. But yeah, like there are boring parts of the story. There's parts of the story that just are like unnecessary or like don't make sense. I'd say like a 7 or 8.
I'd say a 7. At first, when we first watched it, I was like, oh, probably like a 4. But I was watching it last night. I was like, this isn't on a soundstage. Like, this isn't in the back of like some airport hangar, like some of the Marvel movies, like Eternals. Like, there's actually sunsets and there's air and there's water. Oh my God, I can't believe they're filming like that. So I'd say a 6 or a 7. Like, obviously, I still have issues with it, but I enjoyed it a lot more upon rewatch. I don't know when the next time I'm going to watch it, probably with you sometime. But
so it's like, got to my back. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It was great. Smile.
I was gonna
Read
say,
from
if
the
you give
prompt.
it lower,
Read from the prompt.
getting a divorce.
Yeah, I still love Adam Driver though, so I'll just say that.
Well, this has been a fantastic episode. Jordy, thank you so much for coming on. That is it from us at the J&Z Podcast. Head to the bottom of the page, subscribe, like, hit the bell for notifications, and we'll see you next week. Adios.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
The sacred Jedi texts. Oh, read them, have you? Well, page turners doing that.
Hallelujah.